Imagine, you've been working in Hollywood for years. You've become a household name. You even won an Academy Award. However, as you've reached a more mature age, you're told by an executive that you're no longer needed. You're being replaced by someone younger and prettier. Prettier meaning wrinkle-free, and you are an age that similarly aged men find grossly appealing. As a result, you succumb to the voices telling you that you're not enough, which compels you to try a mysterious DNA-enhancing liquid simply and ominously known as the substance. Taking the substance allows your career to reach new heights, but at what cost, as your self-esteem is ruined, your body becomes unrecognizable, all culminating in a grotesque, bloody, and bizarre end. This is the whirlwind we experience in The Substance. Hello, my name is Blade, and let's talk about The Substance. The Substance is a 2024 film directed by Coralie Fargeat and distributed by Mubi. This film is notoriously known for its body horror. However, thanks to the complex writing talents of Fargeat, manages to also be a dramatic and comedic piece. This film is a graphic, bloody, feministic screech into the void. It also so happens to be my pick for Best Film at Blade's Best in Show. The Substance is Fargeat's second feature-length project following 2017's Revenge. Revenge was also a bloody flick fueled by feministic themes, but Fargeat upped the antics with The Substance. The Substance is a film that normally does not become a big, giant blockbuster smash hit, nor an award season's contender, let alone a serious threat at award seasons. Which brings me to, dare I say, the most satisfying aspect of the movie, the championing of one Demi Moore. Let's discuss how the themes of The Substance apply to Moore's career and how the themes, while accurately reflect reality, have also manifested into reality in the opposite manner in such a satisfying way. One of the more simple ways to sum up the themes explored in The Substance is feminist rage. This film doesn't really touch upon feminism, specifically beauty standards and ageism, but screams them at the audience. However, depending on who you are, this scream may come off as brash and gratuitous, or it will be oh so cathartic. Personally, I found myself cheering on Monstro Liza Sue as she burned it all down in the film's final act. This film's final 10 minutes or so are a blood-soaked, metal music video-esque, Carrie-reminiscent release of feminist rage. Fargeat uses body horror as a canvas to discuss Hollywood's discarding of women. But The Substance tackles more than ageism in Hollywood. It also includes the ever-ongoing conversation on beauty standards. When Elizabeth Sparkle, the lead character played by Demi Moore, watches the ad for The Substance, we hear a voiceover ask,
"Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? Younger, more beautiful, more perfect."
This question reflects the thoughts we have as we scroll through Instagram ads of models and influencers donning as little clothes as possible, accompanied by not so discreetly hidden filters and touch-ups. Essentially, marketing that is built upon our insecurities, showcasing something that isn't realistically achievable. Margaret Qualley plays the idyllic version of Elizabeth, Sue. However, for the role, Qualley wore prosthetic breasts to embody the ultra bombshell look. So, even the actress billed to play the perfect version of somebody had to alter themselves for the role to fit this idea of perfection, something that, frankly, doesn't exist. All of that being said, let's touch upon the aforementioned ageism. The Substance dives directly into one of the guiltiest contributors to this issue, Hollywood. Criticizing the entertainment industry in a film is a risky move, similar to Chappell Roan's speech after winning Best New Artist at the Grammys.
I told myself if I ever won a Grammy and I got to stand up here in front of the most powerful people in music, I would demand that labels and the industry profiting millions of dollars off of artists would offer a livable wage and health care, especially to developing artists. Record labels need to treat their artists as valuable employees with a livable wage and health insurance and protection. Labels, we got you, but do you got us?
Making frank and direct comments at the people in power can destroy a career, and I applaud the artists who are willing to do so. However, it's clearly a risk that paid off, as The Substance is nominated for 5 Academy Awards. The Substance candidly examines the treatment of women in the entertainment industry. It calls out the ongoing and unfair conveyor belt of women. A new woman enters the industry. She dazzles us with her talents for years. Then she turns 40. And while she still possesses those same talents she has always had, she is cast aside like a Barbie you're too grown to play with, and is replaced by someone deemed shiny and new. Unfortunately, few women seem to escape this conveyor belt. It reminds me of a statement Taylor Swift made in her Miss Americana documentary.
Everyone's a shiny new toy for like 2 years. The female artists that I know of have reinvented themselves 20 times more than the male artists. They have to, or else you're out of a job. Constantly having to reinvent. Constantly finding new facets of yourself that people find to be shiny. Be new to us. Be young to us, but only in a new way and only the way we want. And reinvent yourself, but only in a way that we find to be equally comforting, but also a challenge for you.
While this issue has been around for years, just as many other forms of misogyny have, lately the complacency around it has slowly turned unapologetically resistant. Artists have been crafting up pieces and criticizing misogyny for centuries, so this isn't necessarily anything new, but in recent time the voices have become particularly loud. And they should be. Women have been a core part of horror forever. I mean, one of the biggest tropes is the final girl. Furthermore, horror that contains feminist themes has been around for quite some time as well, but in recent years we have seen a renaissance of horror films that praise the feminine and unapologetically ooze with social commentary about the treatment and experiences of women and feminine identifying individuals. I can't pinpoint exactly when this wave started, but I'd be surprised if the Me Too movement didn't have anything to do with it, alongside the landslide of turmoil and setbacks caused by the Trump administration. Or, should I say, administrations. One of the biggest setbacks being the overturning of Roe v. Wade. It's no wonder artists are feeling more inspired and fired up than ever to not comment, not discuss, but scream at the top of their lungs about women's rights. Not to mention the rights of many others. As a result, we've been witness to films such as Barbarian and the X trilogy that don't disguise their feminist themes. However, these themes are present in more than just horror films, with releases such as Promising Young Woman.
Are you some kind of psycho or something?
Why'd you say that?
I just thought that you were...
Drunk?
Yeah!
Really drunk?
Fuck. Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
Don't worry, darling.
It was my life! My life! You don't get to take that from me!
And blink twice.
Something horrible is about to happen.
What?
When things are good, that's when the bad stuff happens.
It doesn't seem like this wave is stopping anytime soon either, as 2025 is already home to films keeping the conversation going. Sasha Rainbow's Grafted is another body horror flick examining beauty standards and feminine ambition. The creators of Barbarian brought us yet another twisted tale of toxic male behavior and female empowerment with Companion. Heck, even Steven Soderbergh's Presence isn't free of feminism, vaguely touching upon rape culture. In the midst of all these releases and the ever-growing nightmare, thankfully, women are getting their flowers. Coralie Fargeat is being celebrated as well as Margaret Qualley. And while of course both of those women deserve all of the praise they're getting, the most satisfying success from The Substance is the celebration of Demi Moore. Demi Moore has been in the game for decades now. While she appeared in films prior to 1990, she became a household name with her role as Molly in Ghost alongside the late Patrick Swayze. From there, she continued to star alongside Hollywood icons, thus becoming one herself, in films like If These Walls Could Talk.
so sorry.
You have to have this baby somewhere else. I can't have this baby. I just can't.
Striptease. G.I. Jane.
Suck my dick.
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Good evening, Charlie. I love the new office.
And now, The Substance. Despite this successful career, it seems she never received the same flowers as some of her co-stars, such as Drew Barrymore.
I'm okay. I can do this. Michael, I'm so sorry that I got so nervous. I didn't know the etiquette of coming up here when you win these awards because I don't know.
Cher.
When I was little, my mother said, I want you to be something.
And Sissy Spacek.
I want to thank all of you so much. This is the greatest. For the first time in my life, I'm speechless.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not implying that she hasn't been appreciated or acknowledged before, but I can't help but feel as though that potential went unrecognized and undermined for years. This year, Moore won her first award as an actress at the Golden Globes, her only other award being an Independent Spirit Award in 2012 for Margin Call. However, that award was recognizing the entire ensemble cast. This Golden Globe victory is her first award acknowledging her singular performance in a film. How could this be from such a high-caliber, talented actress who's been in the industry since the 80s? Well, Moore explained it best in her acceptance speech.
30 years ago, I had a producer tell me that I was a popcorn actress. And at that time, I made that mean that this wasn't something that I was allowed to have, that I could do movies that were successful, that made a lot of money, but that I couldn't be acknowledged. And I bought in, and I believed that. And that corroded me over time to the point where I thought a few years ago that maybe this was it. Maybe I was complete. Maybe I've done what I was supposed to do.
It was surprising to hear that Moore had been told she couldn't aspire to anything higher than a popcorn actress. Kerry Washington can even be seen in the back frowning at Moore's confession. While I'm sure male actors have also been cut down and given harsh critiques, being told that you can never be more than a popcorn actress is something I'm sure is reserved for women. It's a comment that diminishes the talent of the performer and asserts the notion they can never be enough. This is a message that doesn't get told to men, at least not in the same brash, dismissive way. This revelation mirrors the story of Elizabeth Sparkle. While the scenario is not 100% the same, and she is well into her career when the blow comes, she is told that she cannot aspire to be more. She's done. The glass ceiling has been reached, and the glass is impenetrable. An assertion decided for her, not a conclusion she came to herself, and one that presents itself as undeniably true while being entirely and utterly false. This is an incredible example of when life doesn't imitate art. The Substance, of course, more than accurately reflects the misogyny deeply woven into our society, but, in a divine, full-circle way, didn't reflect what would ultimately happen. When The Substance began to pull traction and enter award season conversation, I feared it would suffer the same fate as Barbie, a movie empowering women and femininity that deservedly was nominated at award shows, but wasn't taken as a serious contender. How can something pink and sparkly be taken seriously? How can something girly be taken seriously? It's like the whole point of the film was missed. Greta Gerwig's writing perfectly articulated how femininity and intelligence can coexist.
You're supposed to stay pretty for men, but not so pretty that you tempt them too much or that you threaten other women, because you're supposed to be a part of the sisterhood, but always stand out and always be grateful. But never forget that the system is rigged, so find a way to acknowledge that, but also always be grateful.
However, for its femininity, its intelligence wasn't taken seriously. Thankfully, so far, The Substance has not suffered this fate. The film has garnered 5 Academy Awards, notably, of course, Moore's Best Actress nomination, but also a directing and screenwriting nomination for Coralie Fargeat. How much of a threat is The Substance at the Oscars? I'm not sure, but it is clear this film is being taken seriously. And the talented Demi Moore now knows she is not just a popcorn actress. As she said in her Golden Globe speech, she already knows the value of her worth, but it is still so satisfying to watch as she defies the film's themes with the stellar career best performance being championed and celebrated.
And I'll just leave you with one thing that I think this movie is imparting is in those moments when we don't think we're smart enough or pretty enough or skinny enough or successful enough or basically just not enough. I had a woman say to me, just know you will never be enough, but you can know the value of your worth if you just put down the measuring stick.
Something I like to keep doing with this Let's Talk About series is review the movie that I am discussing in the video, even if the video is not necessarily about the quality or the themes of the movie itself. I just think it's fun to start a conversation and spread out to my fellow film lovers. I also would like to grow my reviews on Letterboxd. I think I've reviewed like 3 movies in my entire 2 to 3 years of being on there. If it wasn't already clear enough, I love this movie. I mean, I have it on DVD. Like, I love this movie. The minute I knew it got released it was gonna get a physical release, I had to have it. But to give you my more formal review, I would have to say that The Substance is a film that had everything working against it. It's a grotesque body horror laced with comedic and dramatic tones that unabashedly screams its themes of feminism. However, this is exactly what makes the film not only work, but soar. Watching this film is a cathartic roller coaster of laughs, winces, and jaw-dropping moments. On a first watch, you can't predict what the plot is going to do, as it's constantly going a step further, pushing boundaries before finally crescendoing in a bizarre body horror symphony of chaos. I give The Substance 5 out of 5 stars. What did you think of The Substance, and what was your favorite movie of 2024? Please do let me know down in the comments. Also, how do we think we did on my Substance-inspired look? This was obviously a movie that was kind of hard to do a look inspired by. Without being a master of prosthetics, but I kind of try to go for the vibe of like my eyes are, and the whole makeup really, but is like the color of the activator, like it's the bright green of the activator and then the black of like the text, and then I put on a blue dress to kind of give like Sue and Monstro Liza Sue at the end. I even put one earring higher up, if you know, you know, and then I even so quirkily put on these this teeth necklace. Also, if you know, you know. Well, that's it for this installment of Let's Talk About, and I will see you next time, where we discuss not 1, but 2 films that started a very fascinating conversation in 2024. I'll see you next time. Let's discuss how this... Oh my god, damn. This is gonna be a long time. Fucking blooper reel at the end of this video. Let's discuss how this... Oh my god, that's a hard sentence. Women have been a core part of horror forever. I mean, one of the biggest tropes in horror is This film doesn't merely comment on... Oh my... I don't know why I sound like that. Anyway. Well, that's it for this installment of Let's Talk About. I will see you next time, where I will be discussing...